Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss our new chapter, and that is chapter number 4, Forms of Business Organization. Indian economy is a mixed economy and it is consists of private sector as well as public sector. So today first in this chapter we are going to discuss private sector organizations. First we will see the meaning of private sector organization. So basically, business organizations which are conducted by private entities, or the ownership of such business organizations will be with the private entities, and such private entities will come under the definition of private sector. So all the individual and corporate enterprises owned and managed by private entities will be called as private sector entities. The ownership and management control of business will be in the hands of private entities and not with the government. So, business organizations run by private entities and not by government will be known as private sector enterprises. The private sector is the part of the economy that is run by individuals or group of individuals to run profit. Private sector is one of the part of the economy, and such part is conducted or run by private individuals, group of individuals with the object to earn profit. However, under CSR System of Companies Act 2013, certain social responsibilities and social welfare activities are imposed on such private sector enterprises as well. But the main object of such private enterprises is to earn profit. Under private sector organization, there are different forms of business organization, and that is sole proprietorship, partnership, joint Hindu family firm, cooperative society, joint stock company, etc. Today, first we will discuss sole proprietorship. The term sole means single and proprietorship means owner. So, a firm or business organization where there is one owner of entire business is a sole proprietorship. A sole trader is an independent owner of the business. He manages all the affairs of the business and he enjoys entire profit or loss of his business. He has all the rights and responsibilities of the business and he enjoys all profit. And if there is loss in the business, then he single handedly will bear all the losses. So, a business organization which is owned by a single person or single individual will be known as a sole proprietorship or a sole trading concern. Professor Hansen has defined sole proprietorship as sometimes known as one man business. It is a type of business unit where one person is solely responsible for providing capital, for bearing the risk of the enterprise, and for risk of ownership. प्रोफेसर हैंसन ने बोला है कि सोल प्रोपराइटर यानी ही वन मैन बिजनेस, ये ऐसा बिजनेस यूनिट है जहाँ पर एक सिंगल पर्सन सारे बिजनेस की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी लेता है, बिजनेस में कैपिटल प्रोवाइड करता है, बिजनेस में अगर लॉस होता है तो वो लॉस बियर करता है, मतलब ही रिस्क बियर भी वह अकेला करता है, कैपिटल भी वह अकेला प्रोवाइड करता है और ओनरशिप भी उसकी अकेले की रहती है। The sole proprietorship is an informal type of business owned by one person. So here we will discuss features of sole proprietorship. First feature is individual ownership. There is only one owner in the sole trading concern. He invests entire capital required for the business and he owns all the assets of the business. And only he will be responsible for the liabilities of the business. So, he is the single owner who enjoys all the benefits, he owns all the assets, and he will single-handedly responsible for the liabilities and losses. So, he is the individual owner. Second feature is no sharing of profit and risk. A proprietor is a single owner of the business and there is nobody to share his profit or losses. He enjoys the profit of the business as well as he bears all the risk alone. So, under partnership firm, there is sharing of profit and risk, but under sole trading concern, there is no sharing of profit and risk. A single proprietor, that is a single owner of the business, will enjoy entire profit, and if there is loss in the business, he will be responsible. He has to bear that risk and loss. Next one is self-employment. A sole trading concern is the best suitable form for self-employment. Any unemployed person can start business with small capital and earn for his livelihood. He gets a source of income by starting his own business. So self-employment, uh, it is say sole trading is a form of business organization which is suitable for those who wants to be self-employed. Very least capital is required to start sole proprietorship or a single business. Next one is local market operations. Large amount of capital and expert managerial ability is required for large scale business. A sole trader has limited capital and limited managerial ability. Hence, generally a sole trader operates in local market. सोल ट्रेडर का कैपिटल लिमिटेड रहता है, मैनेजरियल स्किल भी उसकी लिमिटेड रहती है. सो उसका जो बिज़नेस का टर्नओवर होता है और जो मार्केट होता है वो बिज़नेस का टर्नओवर छोटा होता है और वो मोस्टली लोकल मार्केट में ही अपना बिज़नेस चलाता है. लार्ज स्केल अगर उसका टर्नओवर होता है तो फिर वो आउट ऑफ स्टेट भी बिज़नेस करता है, बट मेनली या मेजरली सोल ट्रेडर लोकल मार्केट में ही अपना बिजनेस चलाते हैं. नो सेपरेट लीगल स्टेटस. सोल ट्रेडिंग कंसर्न डज नॉट एंजॉय सेपरेट लीगल स्टेटस. In the eye of law, sole trader and his business are considered one and the same. Here we must consider that company has given a separate legal status. So company is a separate artificial legal person and its members are different from company. But so far as sole trading concern is related, then here sole trading concern does not enjoy any separate legal status. Law has not given sole trading concern a separate legal status. It is not considered as a artificial legal person, and so proprietor and his business are considered one and the same. There is minimum government regulation for sole trading concern. There is no separate act law to govern the activities of sole trader. Registration of sole trading concern is not compulsory and there is no rigid legal formalities for the formation of sole trading concern. only taxation laws and labor laws have to be followed under sole trading concern. Otherwise, there is no separate law which will govern sole trading concern. Next important point is unlimited liability. The liability of sole trader is unlimited. Unlimited liability means there is no distinction between personal property and business property of sole trader. If business asset are not sufficient to repay or to pay off the liabilities of the business, then personal properties of sole trader may be attached to business properties. It means if sole trading concern is under loss and there is winding up of business, then in such case, first business asset of sole proprietor will be sold off and the sale proceed out of which repayment will be made to the creditors of the business. So if creditors are not fully satisfied with the sale proceed of the business asset, then in such case the personal property of sole trader will be used. It will be sold out and the sale proceed will be distributed among the creditors and they will be fully repaid. सो यहाँ पर अगर बिजनेस अगर लॉस में चला गया और बिजनेस बंद कर दिया तो क्रेडिटर्स के पैसे बैंक से लिया हुआ लोन उसका रिपेमेंट के लिए पहले सोल ट्रेडर का जो बिजनेस प्रॉपर्टी है उसको बेचा जाएगा। जो पैसा बेचने पर मिलेगा वो पैसा इन लोगों में दे दिया जाएगा और फिर भी अगर फुल रिपेमेंट नहीं हुआ है तो सोल ट्रेडर का पर्सनल प्रॉपर्टी भी यूज़ किया जाएगा। उसकी पर्सनल प्रॉपर्टी बेचकर लोगों के पैसे वापस किए जाएंगे। सो इस तरह से सोल ट्रेडर की प्रॉपर्टी अनलिमिटेड, सोल ट्रेडर की लाइबिलिटी अनलिमिटेड है। सो हियर वी विल कंक्लूड आवर टुडेज सेशन with the features of sole trading concern. In next lecture, we will discuss merits and demerits of sole trading concern. Thank you.